Good evening, hockey fans. Welcome here to Braemar Arena in Edina as we get set for the Section 3 AA final here on CadetBroadcasts.com. Sam Slagle here on the call for this one. It's the Burnsville Blaze, the number 2 seed in Section 3 AA against the number 5 seed, St. Thomas Academy Cadets. Take a look at how these two teams got here. First, the Blaze took care of business in the quarterfinals 5-1 over Park of Cottage Grove. And then in the semifinals, it was a victory over Egan by an identical score of 5-1. Pair of 4-goal victories for the Blaze. St. Thomas Academy came out. They knocked off the number 4 seed, Eastview, in the quarterfinals 5-0. That was the game played down at Apple Valley. And then they followed that one up, taking care of business against the top team in Section 3 AA, a very good Rosemount Irish club, and the score in that one 3-1. So St. Thomas Academy has continued to play their best hockey as of late. And they finished the regular season winners of 10 of their final 11 games. Back that up with 2 straight here in the section playoffs. Burnsville, though, formidable opponent tonight. They're the number 2 team in Section 3 AA. I was chatting with some of their coaches before this one. It's been kind of a similar story, for Burnsville as it has been for St. Thomas Academy. A couple of, questionable losses just kind of left your head scratching. But they've been playing their best hockey as of late, and a couple of 4-goal victories heading into this final here this evening. And while we do get a chance before we drop the puck on tonight's game, I'd like to thank big shout out and thank you to St. Thomas Academy for helping us out and allowing us to do this broadcast tonight, pitching in with helping on the broadcast fees for tonight. St. Thomas Academy, first team out on the ice. They're going to be in their traveling blue sweaters with the ST crested on the front of the sweater for the opening period. They will go right to left. Burnsville, they'll be in their home white uniforms. They will go left to right for the opening frame. Looking at a couple of players here, obviously we know who to look out for St. Thomas Academy. The likes of Jackson Hollum, Riley O'Brien. Will Soderling has been playing well as of late. He missed time earlier this season with injury. And then obviously Tommy Aiken has been outstanding all year long, as he'll again get the start this evening. But a couple of players to look out for the Blaze. Kate Nielsen centers their top line. The season at 48 points. Grant Ashan, obviously a well-known name in the Burnsville hockey community. He's a wing on that top line. Corbett Bell, Tim Erlab make up a couple of forwards on that second line, and a very good goaltender in Evan Whitcow. He was 17-8-2 on the season. That's including the playoffs. 2.13 goals against average and a 92 save percentage. So very good numbers for each goaltender. Tommy Aiken with a shutout here in these section playoffs, and then just allowed the 1 goal to Rosemount a week ago tonight. The site is Braemar. The teams are Burnsville and St. Thomas Academy. Our public address announcer tonight is Jim Carroll. Very familiar voice with the state of hockey. During the broadcast, too, you can email us here in the booth simply by just clicking contact the broadcast booth. We'll get to those emails during the intermission, so encourage you to tune into this one as the cadets will be introduced first. Also would like to invite everyone to follow us on Twitter at Cadet Broadcasts.
His defensive partner is senior number 17.
Defensive pairings tonight are the starting 2 top defensive pair, Andrew Bamer, McLean Baudette. And Trent Eichner is going to send out his top forward unit.
Junior number 16, Jared
Graham, Riley O'Brien. Center is going to be Jackson Hollum.
And the center is
so that'll be the starting 5 for the cadets tonight.
Assistant coaches are Jimmy McCusker, Niko Kapatanovic. Head coach is Trent Eichner, the St. Thomas
as Burnsville about to be introduced now. Again, their goaltender is Evan Whitcow. He's played just about every minute here this season. Defenseman Joey Anderson, Jordan Tompkins. That's the top defensive pair. Joey Anderson, a big-bodied defenseman who's helped out offensively too as well. 30 points on the season. Similar frame to a McLean Baudette for the Cadets. It's going to be Cole Pearson, Grant Ashan, the wings to start, and then Cade Nielsen will be the starting center for the Blaze tonight. Steve Bolio is the coach for Burnsville, as we're going to step away here for the playing, though, of our national anthem, and we'll have the puck drop for you when we come back here on cadetbroadcast.com. Teams have been introduced. Anthem has been performed. Puck drop is next. We're live on cadetbroadcasts.com. Sam Slagle on the call for this evening's action. St. Thomas Academy looking to make it 4 straight trips to St. Paul. And for Burnsville, last time they were there, they beat this very St. Thomas Academy team. I believe 7-1 was the score in that one back in 2016. Since then, it's been the Cadets winners of Section 3AA the last 3 seasons. So they look to make it 4 trips in a row. Burnsville trying to get back there for the first time since 2016. Cadets trying to do it as a 5 seed in Section 3AA. They've knocked off the 4 seed. They've knocked off the 1 seed. And they got the number 2 seed tonight, the Burnsville Blaze. Again, Burnsville in the white, they go left to right. St. Thomas Academy in the blue, trimmed in the white, they go right to left for the opening period here at Braemar. Packed house here tonight. We're located atop of the Burnsville side of the arena. St. Thomas Academy faithful straight across. As we line up at center, Allen will face off against Nielsen, and the puck is down. We are underway here from Braemar as Riley O'Brien will dump this one in from center. The Blaze control. Joey Anderson has it, slides it across here onto the stick of Tompkins. He'll get it inside Cadet territory where Jackson Holland will swing it back up the far boards as Wright tries to chip it out. Zone held, though, by the Blaze. Shot came in from the far side by Jordan Tompkins. Now Baudette will go D-to-D. That one out of the reach of Bamer. Right in to help out, and he absorbs a check on the far boards as Bamer then able to flip it back out to center ice. Blaze control, carrying up ice, sliding it across is Cade Nielsen. That was out of the reach of his winger and then peels off now for a line change. They were looking for Cole Pearson as the Cadets are able to get the puck down in deep. Wright gives chase. On it first, though, is Tompkins for the Blaze. Puck cleared out to center where Charlie Killian, captain for the Cadets, will send this back inside Burnsville territory. On it is Anderson. Anderson looks up ice. That's going to go all the way down and give us an icing here against Burnsville. 15:49 left. Opening frame, Section 3AA finals here on CadetBroadcast.com. Face-off will be in the far dot. It'll be to the left of Whitcow. As the face-off is controlled by Burnsville. Burnsville out there with their second unit. Tim Erlab is the center for the Blaze there. Wings are Corey Bell, Jack Holmstrom. Cadets with their second line. Centers Max Nagel, Graham, and Deverell. Here come the Blaze in. There's a shot that flips into the catching glove of Tommy Aiken. Corey Bell didn't get much on that attempt, but Aiken was there with the glove. Face-off will come to his right. Face-off won by Nagel. Puck swung up the near side wall. Here's Deverell with it. He'll find Graham up ice. Graham in on the near side. Out front, here's Nagel with a wrist shot through, and that's gloved and held on to by Evan Whitcow. Good clean breakout by the Cadets leads to a shot on goal from Max Nagel. Whitcow there out on top of the crease for the glove save and the stoppage. Both teams come out for with their third lines now for the first time this evening. Bjorn Kylan wins the faceoff back to the blue line, where Bamer plays it back behind the net. Blaze take over, though, as they'll carry out up the near side wall. And from center ice, flipping that one in is Joe Faith. Bamer on it from there, looks up ice for Connor O'Brien. He gets it just out to neutral. Played back in the zone, but offsides against Burnsville. Rematch of the 2016 Section 3AA final. Burnsville 7-1 was victorious in that one. Here's Will Soderling with it. He'll play it in from center ice as Whitcow will swing it up the far boards. Now the puck is settled down here by Tompkins. Tompkins will feather it out to center, nearly intercepted. This is Bjorn Kylan with it. He lost it at the Burnsville line. As the Blaze get it out to center, big hit delivered there as Baudette stepped into Sam Rohde. Knocked him to the ice, and the Cadets control with Bamer. Bamer tripped up, opportunity for the Blaze, and they fire one just wide. Here's Soderling, will get it back out to center ice. That one caromed all the way up to the Cadet line. The shot came off the stick of Cade Nielsen, and he missed the target there. Blaze will regroup. They'll get it back into Cadet territory there. They'll set up the forecheck. Opportunity. Pad save there, though, from Aiken. Nielsen cycles it back behind for Lamont. Now a centering feed. That's broken up. Good defensive work. Riley O'Brien over to right. Here comes right through center. Right into the offensive zone. Defended nicely, though, by Tompkins. As Jordan Tompkins, perfect defensive positioning there on Riley O'Brien. Excuse me, I was right carrying that one in. Puck rolled in on goal, and it was covered up by Whitcow. 13:41 left in the first period. Jackson Hallam back in his own zone. Will pick up some speed. Now he fights through one check. Still on his feet is Hallam. Now he lost a handle on it. Blaze take over. This is Grant Ashan. He'll play to the near boards, looking for Anderson. And Wright will take over. Nearly lost it to Ashan. Back to Charlie Killian, who's got some time. Settles things back in his own zone. Slides it across to Statine. Statine will look up ice. That one gets by Riley O'Brien, and it's going to go all the way down, and that'll be an icing against the Cadets. 13:05 to go in the first.
That's exactly how it is. Where's St. Thomas?
Face-off controlled by the Blaze. There's a shot through off the stick of Corey Bell. Glove save, though, by Aiken. Four-two shots in favor of the Blaze early on. Bell looks back up to the point. Playing it back down low is defenseman there, Botts. Botts up top, looking for a deflection and lands just on top of the crease. Aiken there to swallow that one up. Boy, that puck just died. .48 left in the first period. Face off to the right of Tommy Aiken. Now they're going to say the puck was deflected with a high stick. And so the face-off comes back out to neutral, where the Blaze control, and they'll send it into the Cadet bench. So we'll face off again from the neutral zone. Now they'll put it back to center ice. Here's Nick Owens with it, up to Bjorn Kylan. Now Will Soderling. Soderling sends one wide. That'll carry him up the far half boards. Picked up by Bjorn Kylan. He gets double teamed down low behind the net. Blaze take over. They'll try and break it out on the near side. Now they'll carry through center. And up ice with it is Dylan Reed. Reed down to the corner. Takes it from Connor O'Brien. O'Brien. Now Bjorn Kylan. Kylan back for Connor O'Brien. He'll get it as far as the Burnsville line before the Blaze take over. They'll regroup here in their own zone, go D to D, and carrying up is Casey Myers. He'll flip it up ice, over the glass, and out of play. After that puck goes out of play, face-off comes back out to center ice. Controlled by Burnsville. He'll dump it in quickly off the draw. First one on is Bamer. D to D. Here's Baudette. Breakout pass was broken up. Back on it, though, is Riley O'Brien. Now Jackson Hallam. He'll carry in. Hallam gets behind the defense, and then it's disrupted there by Tompkins. Blaze able to get it back out to center ice. Quickly turned in, though. A little over 11 minutes remain in the opening frame. As the Blaze win another face-off. And they'll break it up the near side. They'll carry through center. Friedman lost a handle on it. Blaze recover. Here's an opportunity. Backhand shot. Save Aiken, and he covers up as he denies Corey Bell. Strong start for Burnsville, as they've controlled the opening portion of this first period. Face off in the near dot, left of senior netminder Aiken, right off the draw. Shot was blocked as Corey Bell's been active here in this period for the Blaze. Another shot attempt there off the face-off. That one never made it through, though. Now the puck is going to be cleared all the way down. This should, and it will give us an icing here against Burnsville. Offensive zone set for St. Thomas Academy coming. Face off in the near dot. 10:45 to go, first period. Let's face off, one back to Charlie Killian. He'll leave it for Deverell. His shot deflected going wide. And now the Blaze have it. They turn it over. Nagel fires one through. Whitcow, the save, rebound is denied. Whitcow with a big save on Graham. Puck tied up on the far half boards. Now controlling it for the Blaze is Faith. Faith will look near side. Pass intercepted, though. Here's Nagel up to Graham. That one gets by him. Graham, though, behind the net. Evades a check. Looks for Statine pinching in from the far point. Now the Blaze control, and they'll try and clear. Graham intercepts. Here's Graham back to the point. Here's Deverell. Deverell will swing it around the net to the near corner. Good pressure here by this second line for St. Thomas Academy. It's been the best shift all night long. As Burnsville, as I say that, Burnsville's able to clear it back out to center ice. Now they'll force it into Cadet territory. Holmstrom there. Quickly, though, back the other way. St. Thomas Academy back to play it as Anderson. He'll swing it back up the near sideboards. Burnsville will carry out. This is Nielsen. Nielsen will carry in left wing side all the way down. Circles the net. Centers one out front, looking for a Sean. Tied up, though, by Kylan. Sean takes over behind the net. Now Nick Owens has it. Owens lost it to a Sean. His centering feed is taken away by Will Soderling. Soderling knocked off the puck. Anderson will poke to the corner as Nielsen will carry back up for Burnsville. Here's Nielsen through center. Gets by 1, 3, and 2 at the line. Nielsen's shot deflected, and it goes wide. Here's Connor O'Brien. Carrying out. Gives to Will Soderling. Soderling at the tail end of his shift here. Will chase the puck all the way to the far corner. Ashan. Lost it. Here's Kylan. Kylan, Soderling. Soderling with a backhand shot. Glove save Whitkow. .8:34 to go, first period. Shots are 8-6 right now in favor of Burnsville. Cadets with some life here as of late after a big shift from their second line moments ago. Burnsville clears it out. Here's a race to a loose puck. On it first is Erlab. Erlab takes a hit from right. Centers one out front, and a shot goes wide from Bell. Well, Bell rushed that one a bit. He had a little bit more time than I think he thought, and he sent that one over the cage. Break there for the Cadets. Here's Hallam with it. Splits the D. He's going to carry up ice. 3-on-2 at the line. Hallam drops it off for Wright. Wright defended nicely as he tries to play it behind the net, taking over as Bennett Botts. Botts will carry up ice here for Burnsville. Plays to the near side onto the stick of Bell. Bell had it lost or knocked away from him by McLean Baudette. Now Bamer has it. Andrew Bamer tries to clear. That's broken up. Bell had it for a second. Lost it to Jackson Hallam, who will survey from behind his own goal line. Goes across to Jared Wright. Wright looked for Riley O'Brien in the middle. He was defended, and the play ends up offsides. Seven and a half to go, first period. Student sections exchanging chants back and forth at each other here from opposite corners, having some fun icing up and coming here against STA. Nagel will draw against Kate Nielsen. Nielsen won it back to the blue line, but that hopped the stick of Friedman, so he has to recover. He'll play to the near side to Joe Faith. Burnsville's able to work through center. Here's Nielsen with it. Nielsen gets behind the defense. Nielsen has a shot out front, tries to give it to him. He was knocked down out front. Burnsville wants a penalty. They're going to get one. First power play is going to belong to the Blaze as Ashan was taken down in the slot. And I believe it's going to be Tommy Deverell of the Cadets that's going to get the gate. Cross-checking is the call. And the first power play will belong to Burnsville. with 6:57 to go in the opening period.
St. Thomas Academy penalty.
Allen wins the faceoff. Baudette, though, unable to clear. So Devereaux gone. Cross-checking is the call. Power play Burnsville. They'll set up on the far wall. They'll work it up top to Anderson at the blue line. Anderson walks to the middle. Now back to Nielsen. His wrist shot through. Pad save by Aiken. Rebound was coughed up. Here's a Sean with it. Up top to Anderson. Anderson fires one. That's deflected wide. And Aiken will cover this one up with 1:29 to go on our game's first power play. Face off one back to Anderson at the point. Here's Nielsen, poked away from him. Anderson recovers though. He'll fire to the corner. Bamer able to clear back up ice. Here's Jackson Hallam. Hallam with it. Lost a handle on the puck though as he was making a move towards the net. And Burnsville will come back out of their own zone with it. Here's Anderson settling things down. Back up to Nielsen at center. As Nielsen will turn it over onto the stick of Rauschenberger, and Rauschenberger clears it all the way back the other way. 55 seconds left on the power play for Burnsville. Nielsen will work up the left wing boards. Now he'll play behind the net. First one on it, Nielsen. Big hit delivered by Soderling down low as he knocked Nielsen to the ice. Here's Nielsen, drops one off. They try to go back to Nielsen. Bell, a little give and go work between Bell and Nielsen. Here's Anderson up top. Anderson in the middle. Slides it across, and taking that one away is Bamer and clearing. And now 20 seconds to go on the power play for Burnsville. 5:12 overall left in the opening period. As Soderling on it, we'll give it back to Nagel. And the Cadets will burn the last few seconds off this power play here. Here's Hallam with it. Devereaux out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5. Devereaux goes right to the bench. Here's Charlie Killian, takes a feed from Hallam. Killian then lost it. Back to play it is Bennett Botts. He'll circle his net. Finds the stick of Holmstrom, who then lost it. Here's Hallam in. Hallam tried to go to Riley O'Brien, and Whitkow's able to cover this one up. 4:25 to go first period. Erlab and Hallam will draw in the far dot as Hallam wins it. There's Jackson with it. Over to Noah Rauschenberger. His wrist shot was blocked out front by the Blaze. That caroms all the way back out to center. And now Jared Wright has it. Wright will come back to his own zone. Back pedals. Cross for Bamer. Back to Rauschenberger here. Now Jackson Hallam into the offensive zone. Here's Hallam with it, works into the slot, poked off his stick. Wright recovers, right into the corner, up top to Rauschenberger. Rauschenberger fires one, never made it through. Jared Wright with an opportunity. That's blocked out front. That caught Erlab as the puck is then cleared all the way down. No icing. First one on it is Bamer. Bamer will leave it for Riley O'Brien. Circles the net, looks back up ice. As Riley gets dumped in front of his own bench there, back on his feet, had the puck for a moment. There's Hallam, but offsides will be called here against St. Thomas Academy. 3:29 to go first period. Here's Baudette back at his own line. finds a stick of Max Nagel. As Nagel tries to jump behind the defense, he has it here. Nagel will play to the far corner. Nielsen takes over, though, for the Blaze. Takes a hit from Deverell. Now Nagel has it back. Nagel lost it to Nielsen. And the Blaze are able to come out with it. Here's a shot. A shot on the right wing side. Plays one back behind the net. And Baudette will swing it up the far boards, back out to center. And the Blaze are able to recover and dump the puck back in deep. Collision at the blue line there between Baudette and Cole Pearson. Here's a shot in the corner on the near side. Sean comes out to the face-off dot. Lost a handle on it, unable to get a shot away. Recovering, though, is Bell. Bell will leave it behind the net. Nobody there. It's Max Nagel for the Cadets. He gets wiped out down low. Charlie Killian takes over up to Deverell. And his pass goes off the stick of Graham and into the Cadet bench. 2:15 to go, first period. Shots are 11-7 right now in favor of Burnsville. Face-off controlled by the Cadets. Rauschenberger swings it around the boards. Zone held, though, by the Blaze. Here's Bell out front, fires one, and getting a piece of that is Tommy Aiken. Bell all alone in the high slot. And Aiken was able to get enough of that one. Caught him in the shoulder. Blaze win the face-off, back to the point. Anderson down low. Now it's Bell. Bell tried to force one out front. Taking over, though, is Kylan. Here's Kylan with it. Has Soderling up ice. Will Soderling comes in with it. Slams on the break. Rolls one in on goal, and Whitcow covers up. As Soderling took a big hit there and wasn't able to get much on that shot attempt. Just kind of rolled it in on goal, but Whitcow was able to make the save as Kylan was crashing the net there. That forced Whitcow to cover. 1:48 to go. Burnsville's able to break it out off the face-off. Puck tied up in front of the STA bench on the far side. Now Rauschenberger will take over. And they'll set up here behind his own net. Over to Hallam on the near side in the corner. Pressured by Ashan, gives to Bamer. Bamer up ice, deflected in by Jared Wright, and he'll give chase. He'll be the first one on it. Wright tried to center to Hallam. Here's Jackson Hallam with it. Hallam on his backhand, turns and fires, and that one goes wide. That's deflected, actually, and ends up loose on the near side wall. Puck tied up. Here's Jared Wright with it. Fires one through. Whitcow the save. Rebound. Backed off to Rauschenberger. Now Hallam with a minute to go in the period. Over to Bamer. His wrist shot is seen all the way in and swallowed up by Whitcow. .56 seconds remain. Hallam behind the net. This is Wright. That hops his stick. As the Blaze are able to break it back out to center. Hallam wins a puck battle along the wall with 35 seconds to go. Waiting for help. Finds it. McLean Baudette. Up ice to Nagel. That one hopped his stick. Cadets forced to recover here back at their own line. And it's going to be a penalty up and coming here against Burnsville. It's going to be a holding call as Hallam draws a penalty. And for the Blaze, it's Zach Lamott. getting the gate. Minor penalty, holding is the call. Power play number 1 now for the Cadets. Soderling will draw for St. Thomas. As Burnsville wins the faceoff, unable to clear. Charlie Killian keeps it alive, plays to the corner. Bjorn Kylan behind the net for Soderling. Up to the near side, Bamer for Riley O'Brien. 10 seconds to go. Kylan calls for it, has it. That's a one-time. Big pad save by Whitcow, and it comes all the way back out to center. And that's going to do it here for the opening period of play as Riley O'Brien plays one on goal from center. And the horn sounds on the first period. St. Thomas Academy 0, Burnsville 0 after one period of play. Shots after one, 12-11 in favor of Burnsville. Good chances at each end of the ice. But so far the goaltenders keeping their teams in this one. 0-0 after one. St. Thomas Academy will have a minute 36 left on the power play to start the second period. It's a holding minor that went against Zach Lamont for Burnsville in the closing minute of that first period. So STA starts with the man advantage in the second period. As we bring in now John Wecken, who's up here with us tonight. He'll kind of keep us in tune with, with cadet broadcasts. He's kind of been behind it all season long and since its inception. So, John, it's been awesome, working with you for another season. And obviously, big thanks to St. Thomas Academy, the school for allowing us to come out here in another season, and especially tonight with the big broadcast fee and allowing us to be out here tonight for the game.
Absolutely. A lot of fans, the playoff games are always the biggest games, and we do a big regular season schedule, football, soccer. We've done wrestling, we've done swimming, hockey, basketball. We're going to do some lacrosse and some baseball in the spring. But in the state of Minnesota, hockey is king, and this St. Thomas Academy program for many, many years has been one of the elite programs in the state of Minnesota, first in Class A, and now continuing that here in Double A, looking to go to state for the 4th straight year, and trying to get past the Burnsville Blaze here. And one thing we want to take time to do a thank you. And what a lot of fans don't know, when we get into playoffs, Minnesota State High School League rules and regulations really have very specific things you can and can't do, and very significant broadcast rights fees that have to be paid. And a sincere thanks and gratitude goes out to St. Thomas Academy. For 3 games here in the section playoffs, you're talking almost $2,000 just to do these games. And wherever you're tuning in from tonight, we got a lot of people tuned in. If you were tuned in on Saturday, if you were tuned in on Thursday before that, as these cadets try to march back to the state tournament, back to the XL Energy Center, one of the elite state tournaments in the country of high school state tournaments, regardless of sport. It's right up there. And it's such an honor to be able to
Texas football and Minnesota hockey.
Texas football, Minnesota hockey, Indiana basketball, Iowa wrestling, I always say. But, St. Thomas Academy, so many great things going on over there. And, we just want to thank them. This is year number 14 of our broadcast arrangement. We've done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of games through the years, and we've seen some great teams and some great games. And, here we are again. And, Sam, looking back to mid-January, and you've done most of these cadet games. I don't know how many people really thought here we would be at the end of February. St. Thomas Academy at the time, mid-January, was about at the 500 level. They had lost 3 in a row, and I don't know how many people would have said at that point they're going to be playing in the sectional final to go to state.
Well, no, absolutely. I mean, I said it in the open. Both of these two teams, really, Burnsville and St. Thomas Academy. There were some games you look back on, you look at the schedule, you see some of these losses, and they're really just head scratchers. St. Thomas Academy, a 5-1 loss to Holy Family.
Right.
There was that, I believe it ended up being 5-2 against Hastings. I mean, Hastings had a good year, but I think first time in 20 years that Hastings had beat St. Thomas Academy. In Matamidi, they split against Matamidi this year, but new coaching staff, Trent Eigner, done a great job. Obviously, he's got his team this far, looking to get, put St. Thomas in the tournament for fourth consecutive year, his first year as the bench boss, but new coaching staff, a lot of new players too. I remember home opener, I was chatting with him before that game, and that was one thing he mentioned. There was 10, 11 guys that really hadn't seen any varsity time the previous season.
Right.
So obviously it's a big learning curve, but it probably took him longer than he had hoped for this team to kind of find their stride. But, it's the old cliche of you want to be playing your best hockey this time of the year, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Well, that's what any team really, I think, the goal is to be playing your best hockey when playoffs come in postseason. And correct me if I'm wrong, but coming into this game, the Cadets have won 12 of their last 13. Their lone loss being on the road against a very good Hill Murray team. In a rivalry, one of the top rivalries in the state. We did that game.
Well, too, that was a game where St. Thomas Academy led in the third period. You got to remember,
Right.
They were up 2-0, and they gave up a goal in the final 30 seconds of the second period, and then ended up surrendering that lead in the third period. Went on to lose that game, but victories against Matamidi, victories against Stillwater, Minnetonka, obviously in the playoffs here, victory against Rosemount last week. They've had some big victories here in the back half of their schedule.
Well, and again, if they're able to make it to the state tournament, one of these two fine teams is going to advance. Of course, that starts next week. It goes Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. A quarterfinals on Wednesday, Double A quarterfinals on Thursday, the semifinals on Friday, and those all-important championship games on Saturday. And one of the great showcases for the state of hockey. Getting back to St. Thomas Academy, they got a lot of great things going on over there. You can check them out on cadets.com. Learn all about the school. And if you want to take a tour at St. Thomas Academy, the Tuesday tours, they're led by the admissions office and parent ambassador team. The tours provide prospective families with a look at the beautiful 88-acre campus, and its top-notch learning facilities and their classroom, and the great upgrades they've done over at St. Thomas Academy in recent years. It had a significant capital campaign. You look at that beautiful gymnasium. Sam, you did basketball the other night. I've done basketball there. The late Vince Flynn, in his honor, and you have Flynn Schoberg Arena. And, academically, St. Thomas Academy, as a private school, their scores and what their students have done in the community and what their students have done academically and in education beyond high school is just tremendous. It's one of the top schools really in the country. It truly is. And so get over there and check it out. Go on to cadets.com. Also, the St. Thomas Academy admissions will host the middle school admission showcase Tuesday, April 21st. That's this spring at 6 p.m. You can learn more about that at cadets.com. And then the Middle School Vista Theater is presenting Into the Woods this weekend. And that starts tomorrow night. Talented cast working very hard on it. And they'll have shows at 7 o'clock. They'll also have a 2 o'clock show on Sunday. That's at the DeSales Auditorium over at Visitation. And mark your calendar coming up, and this is something we're going to be streaming. And it's a lot of fun, raises a lot of money, and it's really a great thing to see and be a part of, is the STA Community Auction. That's going to be a little bit later this year, May 1st and 2nd. Family Fun Night will take place on Friday, May 1st. You got a cakewalk, carnival games, dunk tank, beer garden for those over 21, of course. Sam, you and I have to check that out. You can win $1,000 by playing heads or tails. Then they have the gala event, and that's going to be Saturday, May 2nd. We're going to do live video on that. We did that last season, really enjoyed that. Amazing silent auction items to be had, food from the St. Paul Hotel, an open bar. Learn more about that at cadets.com/auction. So a lot of great things going on over at St. Thomas Academy. And I want to give a thank you to Deborah Edwards over there for all that she does and working with me, Mike Maxwell, David Hottinger, Athletic Director Dan O'Brien, a whole host of people, Julie Marks, a lot of those people I've worked with for many, many years, and I've really grown to have a great relationship with St. Thomas Academy, and to see these teams flourish when, again, St. Thomas doesn't fall under that underdog label very often.
Right.
But when they came into the sections as a number 5 seed,
I was talking.
they're an underdog.
I was Chad. This is before the Eastview game, a week and a half ago, and talking to Greg Monahan, the goaltender coach for the Cadets. We were just chatting. Edina, Eden Prairie, St. Thomas Academy, Duluth East.
Right.
Not one of those teams was a number 1 seed. When's the last time that happened?
I don't know if that's ever happened.
Minnetonka's out, Edina's out, Wayzata's out, Duluth East is out. It's going to be a fresh field at the 2A level come next week. With a couple tickets already punched. Blake, first time as AA.
Yep.
And in that thrilling game last night, it was the penalty shot in overtime that they beat Benilde with Rob McClanahan coaching that team now. His daughter was a standout player for the Blake girls, she's playing college out east. But, so Blake, first time in AA, they go, and, Andover's got a good chance.
Yep.
Andover girls obviously, won it all last week, beating Edina. So, there's going to be some new faces over there that, and teams we haven't seen in a while come next week at the XL Energy Center.
And I believe Moorhead punched their ticket in Section 8 AA as well.
They beat Roseau, if I'm not mistaken, 3-2 was the final in that one last night. So Moorhead back to St. Paul, and like you said, winner this one goes. If that first period has anything to tells us anything what's going to happen the rest of the way, it's going to be a fun one. First time seeing Burnsville this season for me. They're a good opponent. They're a good hockey team, well coached, well disciplined out there, and they played a pretty good first period. They really came out fire, and St. Thomas was on their heels for a better part of the first half of that period, but they kind of were able to settle in a little bit and kind of even things out as that period went on. But it should be a fun final 34 minutes, maybe more of hockey here from Braemar.
Well, and the St. Thomas Academy Cadets looking to go to state for the 4th consecutive year. The last time they didn't go to state, the team that knocked them out, Burnsville Blaze, back in 2016. So there's a history here.
Absolutely. And, they won that one handily, we talked about, too. And I mentioned it a couple times now, but 7-1. Since then, though, it's been St. Thomas Academy that's been able to go. So 2 periods left, and to see who'll be standing and, heading to St. Paul next week. So,
also, we want to give a shout-out to the St. Thomas Academy basketball team. They've had a tough season. Sam, you've done a few games. I've done a few games. They every once in a while, you have a season where a lot more goes wrong than right. But I want to give a shout out to the basketball team and senior Stephen Betts. They honored him the other night on senior night, and it's tough to go through that sometimes. When you look at it, the basketball program has had far more winning seasons. I mean, they've had multiple state tournament appearances and some championships and stuff. It's been a little tough this year, but I want to give a shout out to that coaching staff and those players that have hung in there, even though they haven't had a lot of success this year. But they've hung in there.
Coach Burr, Jason Burr, the head coach of the basketball team for STA. Obviously it's been a tough year. 2 wins. I didn't see how they did. I think they still play this Friday. They're 2-23, but he's been nothing but class, treating us, chatting with him before games, and he's just been first class all the way. And, as is everyone that we deal with, Trent Eigner and his staff, they're more than willing to go out of their way to accommodate you, talk to you, give you what you need. Obviously, Coach O'Brien with the football team. So it's been a pleasure, working with all these teams and these coaching staffs.
Well, I think St. Thomas Academy, that's one thing. When you think of St. Thomas Academy, you think of sportsmanship, you think of class. I mean, that's what it's all about. I want to go into the email bag before we get back to action here, and we'll get to more of the emails in the second intermission. But I want to say hello to Bob Sands. Said, hey guys, he's listening in Tijuana. He's on business, but couldn't resist tuning in to watch the Cadets. Go Cadets, take state. It's very easy to email us here at Braemar Arena in Edina. Click the contact the booth link. below the video screen on cadetbroadcast.com. You can let us know who we are, where you're listening from, and who you're cheering for today. Thank you for joining us wherever you are today for Cadet Playoff Hockey. And here we go, Sam.
Well, second period is officially underway. Puck is down. Here we go. Cadets go left to right. Burnsville goes right to left. It's a power play for St. Thomas Academy to start. In the box is Zach Lamont for Burnsville. Holding penalty. He was whistled for in the final seconds of that opening period. After that stoppage, a minute 21 left on the man advantage for St. Thomas Academy. Puck knocked into their bench. Face off back out in the neutral zone. Controlled by St. Thomas Academy. Here's Hallam with it. As Jackson Hallam gives to Max Nagel, who will carry inside the Blaze line. Nagel tried to leave it for right. They find Hallam at the line. He works to the middle. Here's Jackson Hallam across to Graham. Back to Hallam. Knocked away from him. And we're going to get an offsides as the puck just came back out to neutral. 16-18 left in the second. 55 left on the power play. Soderling and Nielsen will draw here. Off the draw, it's Charlie Killian getting this one in deep. Bjorn Kylan lets it go by. Back to Killian. Now Soderling. Soderling works to the corner, circles the net. Up top, here's Bamer. O'Brien calls for it. Here's Riley O'Brien with it. Back to Charlie Killian. Killian's shot blocked out front. That one never made it through. Cadets still control. Here's Riley O'Brien. Charlie Killian. Killian's shot through, save, and a stoppage from Whitcow. Killian put that one right into the big B in the front of Whitcow's sweater. Shots evened up at 12 apiece now. 26 seconds left on the Cadet power play. Blaze able to control and carry out. They'll dump the puck in deep. Tim Erlab was able to control and get it deep. Now just 12 seconds left on the power play with Bjorn Kylan across to Andrew Bamer. Slams on the brakes. Now swings it around back to the near side to the awaiting Soderling. Lets it go by for Killian. Back to Soderling on the half boards. Here's Charlie Killian to the middle. Here's O'Brien. His shot was blocked out front. Burnsville back to full strength. Here's a breakaway opportunity for Bell. Bell fires one in. Aiken the stop. Big save from Tommy Aiken as Corey Bell came off the bench and he was waiting at the STA blue line. And a heads-up break out there, and they find Bell, who was in alone. But Aiken was there for the save. 15-13 to go. Second period here on cadetbroadcast.com. That one gets by everybody. It's going to go for an icing here against the Cadets. Full crowd here at Braemar Arena in Edina. As here's a turnover. Unable to control, though, is Erlab, and Cadets able to clear. No icing, though. Whitcow to swing it back up the near side wall. Here's Graham with it. Graham throws one towards the net. That goes wide. Nagel picks it up on the far boards. Nagel lost it to Myers. Getting it back, though, is Deverell. He was tied up by Erlab. Here's Nagel battling behind the net. Kicks it up the far boards to the point. Baudette now to Deverell. Deverell tried to force one out front. That was knocked down, cleared back out to center here by the Blaze. Graham back at his own line, gives to McLean Baudette. Defensive partner Andrew Bamer has it, but they come in offsides. 14-12 to go in the second. Anderson will take it from Whitcow. They'll break it up on the far side. Onto the stick of Nielsen. Has speed through center. Nielsen. Shot attempt ends up loose in the far corner. Statine will get it out to center. Here's a race to a loose puck. Jared Wright gets on it first. Wright throws one towards the net. That'll work its way to the far corner where it's picked up by Ashan. He'll leave it for Nielsen. Now Anderson takes over in the corner. Up ice to Ashan. One-touch pass, and here comes Nielsen. 2-on-2 through center. Nielsen will carry in. Poked away from him by Statine. Calm poke check there by defenseman for the Cadets. Here's Statine with it. Lost it to Grant Ashan, who nearly gave it away to Jackson Hollum. As Nielsen will retreat back into his own zone. Cadets keep it in the offensive zone, right in the near side corner. Lets it go by for Statine. Now up top to Hallam. Hallam's wrist shot fought off and held on to by Whitcomb. Face off in the near dot. As Kylan will face off against Erlab. Here's Soderling, unable to control in the far half boards. And Burnsville will get it out to center ice. Rauschenberger, though, onto the stick of Connor O'Brien. O'Brien still with it. Back to Nick Owens. His wrist shot goes over the net. Bjorn Kylan will pick it up on the near side. He'll go to the corner with it. Connor O'Brien to Rauschenberger up top. All the way across to Nick Owens. Owens to Kylan. Into the middle. Here's Will Soderling. Winds, fires, and scores! Will Soderling! Through traffic, puts the Cadets up 1-0. Now, we mentioned his name in the open. He missed time this season due to injury. But he has been spectacular in these section playoffs. Doing a little bit of everything. He's played physically. He's found himself on the score sheet. He gets the Cadets on the board first tonight. As that one from the blue line, it was through a screen. He beats Whitcow upstairs. Cadets lead 1-0. As Burnsville will come out through center. As Botts got it just inside the line. Puck loose behind the net. Owens picks up the only assist on the Soderling goal. Regular season and section playoffs combined, that's goal number 8 for Will Soderling in the season. Face-off controlled here by Burnsville. They'll flip it into the Cadet zone. Glove down and played by Bamer. He'll find the stick of Deverell on the far boards. And Deverell will shovel it in back behind the net. Whitcow will leave it there for his defenseman. That's Botts down low. He's tied up by Nagel. Graham in there as well. Also is Erlab. Graham comes away with it. Plays it up top for Bamer. Back to Graham on the far wall. Here's Graham with it. Spins away from pressure, now gets double teamed on the far half boards. Graham then lost it. Here's an opportunity. Bell in behind the defense. Bell in, and save Aiken. Rebound is loose and cleared away by the Cadets. Corey Bell's had 2 breakaways this period, but Aiken has denied him twice. We play on. Cadets leading 1-0. Here's Bell with it again. As Bell will carry in far side, working against Bamer. Bell now drops it off for Ashan. That one gets by him. Recovering, though, is Burnsville. They'll play to the line. Here's Anderson with it. His wrist shot punched away to the corner by Aiken. As Nagel settles things down for the Cadets. Nagel works through a stick check, gets the puck to center. Carrying back in, though, are the Blaze with Erlab. Blocker save Aiken. Here's Ashan in the corner. Works it down low. Bell To Anderson, back to Bell. Bell at the face-off dot. Back to a shot in the corner. To Anderson at the point. His wrist shot. He was looking for a deflection out front. That one goes wide. And now the Cadets send it the distance, and it'll be an icing here. Another breakaway for Bell. Another big save for Aiken. Nielsen will draw against Hallam. They'll draw from the right of Aiken. Lamont was there first for the Blaze. He'll reverse back to the near side. Cadets get on it first. Big collision, though, on the near side half boards. Killian will get it back through center. Now Jackson Hallam. Offsides will be called, though, as Wright was at the top of the circles as Hallam carried that one in. Comes Jackson Hallam. He took it away from Nielsen. Now Hallam will work through center. Gets behind a couple and then has it knocked off his stick. And Ashan will swing it up the near side wall. First one on it, though, is Statine. He plays it on goal, and that one's deflected up into the screen by Whitcow out of play. And the faceoff will stay in the Burnsville zone. Here's Will Soderling, the goal scorer tonight. He takes a big hit from Casey Myers behind the net. O'Brien unable to glove it and keep it alive. So now Kylan will back it off to the defense to Killian. Killian up for Connor O'Brien. Had to knock that one down with his body before dumping that one in deep. As Statine pinches in, Connor O'Brien over. Puck cleared to center, though, by Burnsville. As Bell will carry it in. He'll chip it behind Soderling. Gives chase. On it first is Killian. Here's a shot from the point as Killian and Bell were in a bit of a scrap down near the St. Thomas Academy goal, but we play on. Here's Kylan. Plays one behind the net. 8:45 to go, second period. Will Soderling's goal is the difference maker to this point. 1-0, St. Thomas Academy leading. Here's an opportunity for Baudette. Denied there by Whitcow. We saw the big defenseman McLean Baudette figure into the score in the quarterfinal game. This time he sneaks behind and was all alone on the back door and unable to beat Whitcow. Here's Baudette with it, back pressured here at his own line. Turns the puck over. Sam Rhodey, along with Baudette, will battle for a puck down low. Puck comes free into the near side corner now. Pile working its way down the wall. Bamer comes away with it. Bamer to Deverell. Nagel leaves it for Graham. He'll chip it up to Nagel. Here's Nagel with it. Nagel works through, and he couldn't catch up to the puck. He was right out front in the slot there. Lost a handle on it, though, making a move. Here's Rauschenberger. Andrew Bamer. His wrist shot. Knocked down out front. Puck loose behind the net. As Rauschenberger will play it on the far half boards to the middle. Deverell wrist shot, blocker save. Whitcow. As Rauschenberger pinches in, keeps it alive. Nagel has it. Nagel then lost it. Bamer recovers. Bamer behind the net. On it, though, is Faith for Burnsville. Now Rhodey. Rhodey unable to get it by Bamer. Here's a deflected puck. Rolls in on goal. And Whitcow the save. And then a friendly conversation ensues between Graham and Friedman. following that whistle.
Elk River 0. Second period, Hastings 2, Lakeville South 0.
Well, I caught Andover was winning, and I caught Hastings was winning. I didn't catch. I think Maple Grove and Blaine. I didn't hear the update there, but we'll try and get an update for you in the other section finals. There's a centering feed. Now Jared Wright gets it back, plays to Rauschenberger at the blue line. He'll go across for Killian behind the net. Wright works to the corner. He's tied up down low. Gets double teamed down in the corner. Finds a stick of Hallam. Lost it to Ashan. Now Rauschenberger gets it back though for the Cadets. He'll play it down in. Whitcow leaves it behind the net. Here's Riley O'Brien. Ashan takes over though. Grant and Ashan look to the near side. Now Ashan takes it himself. Outnumbered at the Cadet line. There's a race to a loose puck. Who's going to catch up to it first? That one's poked away by Tompkins of the Blaze. Jared Wright was in pursuit. As Nielsen will pick it up behind his own net, and he'll skate through center. Here's Nielsen. Drops it off. Now Ashan with it. Ashan with a shot attempt. Never made it on goal. And the puck is played up the near side boards. Cadets are able to clear it. And Hallam will catch up to it. Here's Jackson Hallam. Cuts to the net. Lost a handle on it. Riley O'Brien with his shot. That hit Hallam. Delayed penalty up and coming here against the Blaze as they touch up. Now let's see here. For Burnsville, who are they going to get? Looks like number 9, that's Tompkins. They may be getting 2 penalties as well. Tim Erlab also heading to the penalty box. So 2 minor penalties against Burnsville. That's Tompkins and Erlab in the box. As the referees go to the Burnsville bench, talking with head coach Steve Bolio, giving an explanation. Erlab and Tompkins in the box for Burnsville. 5-on-3 for St. Thomas Academy. They lead 1-0. 5:47 left in the second period. Hallam and Nielsen will face off here. 5-on-3 for St. Thomas Academy.
Number 9, Jordan Tompkins. He receives a tripping minor.
Here's Bamer with it.
7, Tim Erlab. He receives a slashing minor. Both penalties.
Bamer waits. Now to Wright, back to Bamer, top of the circle. Here's Wright, down low. Wright looking to center, out to O'Brien, and he fires one wide. Bamer works to the middle. Andrew Bamer fanned on the pass. Puck is cleared by Burnsville. Erlab received a tripping penalty. Tompkins got a trip. Erlab got a slash. That's the official calls for the penalties on Burnsville. As Hallam has it, but the Cadets are in offsides. .81 seconds left on the penalties to Burnsville. Five minutes left in the second period. Here's Will Soderling, the goal scorer tonight. Carries in on the near side wall. Soderling slows things down, finds Nagel at the point. Now across Charlie Killian. Back to Nagel in the middle. Nagel down low, centering feed, and Tyler Graham got a shot through. Toe save though from Whitcow. I don't think Graham got all of that one. Regardless, big save from Whitcow. Nice feed from Kylan, who was at the bottom of the circle on the near side. Soderling and Nielsen in the far faceoff dot. As Kylan has it off the draw. Bjorn Kylan down to the corner. Up top, Charlie Killian with it. Across, here's Max Nagel. Out front, deflected. Puck and Whitcow the save. It was Graham again with the opportunity. Denied, though, by Evan Whitcow. .45 seconds left on the two-man advantage for St. Thomas Academy. Soderling wins the faceoff again. Back to the point. Here's Charlie Killian. Now Max Nagel with it. Charlie Killian winds, fires. That one's knocked down. Bjorn Kylan sends one wide. And Will Soderling picks up a loose puck in the far corner. Soderling looks up to the blue line, finds Killian. Over for Nagel. Nagel to Kylan. Centering feed. Graham, loose puck. Side of the net. Soderling has it. Graham. Now Nagel. Nagel back to Killian in his skates, recovers. Charlie Killian's shot attempt ends up loose in the corner. Bjorn Kylan with a bouncing puck out front in the slot. Penalty coming here as Killian touches up. It's going to be a trip. That's going against Graham of the Cadets. And it'll be 4-on-3 for just 4 seconds. And then Burnsville gets a power play. Off the draw, turning and firing was Nielsen. So Blaze are back to full strength. It's a power play now. As Graham gone for a trip. Here's Wright, though, shorthanded up to Hallam. Hallam now Wright. Wright recovers. He'll give to Baudette. Back to Jackson Hallam. Hallam tried to go back to Baudette. Good penalty kill here. St. Thomas Academy likes to be aggressive on the penalty kill. Hallam turns and fires. Whitcow the save. Puck loose in the corner. Now Burnsville's able to settle things down. Minute 24 to go on the power play as Nielsen will carry through center. Nielsen into the offensive zone. Works through this slot. Puck rolls in. Deflected away, though, by Aiken. Blaze still control. They'll set up on the far half boards. Down low to the corner. Nielsen up top to Anderson. Anderson's wrist shot deflected by Bell. Save Aiken. Baudette with it now, and he's going to clear it all the way down. With 54 seconds left on the power play for Burnsville. Anderson will take it from Whitcow. Now Anderson sets up. He'll quarterback this unit out of his own zone. Looks to center. That puck is intercepted. Here comes Nagel in, working against Anderson. Nagel fires one high and wide. And Ashan will pick up a loose puck on the far half boards. 30 seconds to go on the man advantage. Here's Grant Ashan will carry out through center. Gets to the red line, dumps this one in deep. And Aiken will play it up the near side wall. And the puck comes out all the way down to the Burnsville zone. 12 seconds left in the power play for Burnsville. Owens able to ice this one all the way down, and that should do it here as Graham is out of the box, and the Cadets are back to full strength. So 5-on-5 with minute 42 to go in the second period. Cadets 1, Burnsville nothing, and a goal from Will Soderling earlier this period. As Anderson for the Blaze looks up ice for Bell. That was in his skates. Bjorn Kylan sends it right back into Blaze territory. Baudette holds at the far point, plays to the corner. Anderson just does get it out to center. That one went off the glove of Bjorn Kylan. So the Cadets touch up. Now they go back to work on the forecheck here, and the Blaze are able to clear it out. Here's an opportunity for Holmstrom. His shot goes wide, then he takes a hit up high. Now Rhodey down low. Rhodey working against Bamer. Now Kylan in to help out. He takes a hit in the corner from Holmstrom. Under a minute to go, second period. Puck loose behind the net, and Baudette has it for STA. Up to Connor O'Brien, and to center they are with Soderling. 40 seconds to go, second period. As Botts has it. Up to Holmstrom. Unable to handle that one. Cadets take over. They'll go D to D in their own zone. And Jackson Hallam will carry it in for the Cadets. Hallam lost it at the blue line. Here's an opportunity for Grant Ashawn. As Hallam, though, on the back check there, disrupted that. Here's a centering feed. Puck loose, and Aikens there to cover it up. 12.7 seconds left, second period. Final seconds here of the second period as Hallam's able to clear it out. And that touched someone in the Burnsville bench, so that'll give us a stoppage here. Five seconds left. Cadets win the faceoff, and they'll kill the closing seconds here of the second period. Horn sounds, period 2 in the books here at Braemar. And after 34 minutes of hockey, St. Thomas Academy leads Burnsville in the Section 3 AA final 1-0 on a goal by Will Soderling in that second period. Shots after two periods, 23-18 in favor of the Cadets. Cadets controlled the play in that second period, really kind of from start to finish, and they find themselves leading going into the third period, 1-0. We'll have that third period here for you in about 10 or so minutes, but first we'll turn it over to my partner up here, John Wecken, for some intermission entertainment. I know the email inbox has been going here tonight. So John, take it away.
All right, first there are a couple score updates here. Is the state tournament field getting set here? It started yesterday, and Sam, you talked about it. Blake and was it Eden Prairie?
Blake versus Benilde.
Blake knocked off Benilde in overtime to get in, and then the other one.
It was Eden Prairie beat Chaska 3-2.
Eden Prairie beat Chaska. Moorhead is in AA, and this field will continue to come into play here in the next few days for that all-important state tournament Wednesday through Saturday next week. We're going to go into the Cadet Broadcasting email bag here. We got emails coming in, and then we're going to just take a quick peek at where the viewers are tuning in from tonight. We got some early reports, and very interesting. A lot of people tuned in tonight, and thank you one and all, wherever you're tuned in from. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast, whether you're a Cadet fan or a Blaze fan or a fan of high school hockey. Thank you for spending your Thursday night with us here. Want to say hello to Bruce, and he makes some comments about the combo of socks and pants for the Burnsville Blaze.
Bruce, if you know what Cooperalls are, that's what they look like out here.
Cooperalls? All right, I'll take your word for it here. Want to say hello to Peter Brandt, tuning in, enjoying the broadcast. Henry May says, hey guys, checking in from Dayton, Ohio. He says, go Cadets. Want to say hello to Hayes Redding. He's tuning in from the Sapphire in Las Vegas tonight. He says, go Cadets. Dick's tuning in from Atlantic City. He said he loves Minnesota hockey. Dan Scheid says, go Cadets. He's tuning in from Denver, Colorado tonight. Keep those emails coming in. It's very easy to do. Click on the Contact the Booth link below the video screen on cadetbroadcast.com. You can let us know who you are, where you're listening from, who you're cheering for tonight. Andy and Judy, watching from Southeast Missouri. They say thanks for the broadcast. Thank you for tuning in. Jack George tuning in. So tuning in from August, Iowa. Or maybe it's Ames, Iowa. I don't know. But I hate it here. Ha, ha, ha. JT, I love you. So keep those emails coming in. We've got another one coming in. Keith Jackson said, great job on the broadcast. Enjoying your color commentary. Well, I'm actually only going on in the on intermissions. I'm mostly a football, basketball, baseball guy here, but Sam Slago here, one of the best play-by-play guys in the business here, and having a good broadcast, having a good time. Playoffs are here, and if you like high school hockey, if you like high school sports, this environment here, this atmosphere is just tremendous. Want to say hello to some of the viewers tuning in, and we've got several thousand viewers on tonight. We got some early reports coming in. We want to say hello to viewers all over the state of Minnesota. I'm looking at a list of cities here, and people are tuned in not only here in the metro, but north, east, south, and west from all over the place. So a big audience here in Minnesota. Also North Dakota, Nebraska, Arizona, Florida, Georgia, Iowa, Massachusetts, Ohio, South Dakota, Wisconsin, Alaska, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Washington, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Maryland, Michigan, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Tennessee, Washington, and Oregon, and across internationally, Canada, Mexico, Denmark, Japan, and Singapore. All tuned in tonight. So wherever you're tuned in from, thank you, and thank you to St. Thomas Academy for stepping forward. And we talked about this, and we want to mention this again. Playoff hockey, which is governed and regulated by the Minnesota State High School League and the various sections throughout the state. A lot of rules and regulations and things. It's not like regular season where schools kind of control their own format and whatnot. To be able to do these games requires a pretty significant broadcast rights fee. St. Thomas Academy stepped forward, the athletic department, the development office, some people behind the scenes, and almost $2,000 went out to do these 3 playoff games. We opened this up against Eastview in the 4-versus-5 game over at Apple Valley, and then we had the game versus Rosemont as the Cadets took down the number 1 seed Rosemont Irish to set up this Section 3 AA championship game against the Burnsville Blaze. And so we want to thank them for bringing us on board, as we've got a 14-year relationship doing broadcast. Check out the archive in cadetbroadcast.com. We got archives going all the way back to 2006, whether it's hockey or basketball, football, soccer, lacrosse, baseball. Another thing, we were talking about some of the other teams and things going on at St. Thomas Academy. One of the great programs that really doesn't get near the publicity they should is the swimming program. And John Barnes in particular, and I know he's a big supporter of everything we do, and I've known John for a long time, but that swimming program at St. Thomas Academy, year after year after year, is one of the elite swimming programs, not only in the state of Minnesota, but really in the Midwest.
Oh, absolutely. They've cemented themselves, as one of the best, if not the best, swim and dive program in the state. And they continue year after year to show up and perform.
So check out all the great things going on at at cadets.com, and of course of our broadcast site, cadetbroadcast.com, and all the great things going on at St. Thomas Academy. Coming up, we have the St. Thomas Academy Community Auction, May 1st and 2nd. We got Family Night on the 1st, and the silent auction. We'll have live coverage of that on the 2nd. We got quite a bit going on in Vista in terms of musical performances coming up, theater performances coming up. St. Thomas Academy, one of the elite schools here, not only in the state of Minnesota, but really throughout the country, doing great things over there. The teachers, the students, the administrative staff. Check it out, cadets.com. I'm going to go back into the email bag, and emails are flooding in. I want to say hello to Sarah McMullen. Says, go get him, St. Thomas. She's watching from Cincinnati. She says, go McLean Baudette. Also want to say hello to Will, watching from Grand Prairie, Alberta. That's our Canadian, or at least one of them. He says, go Cadets. Oliver Marks says, I'm in Chicago. Number 11, Rauschenberger, is elite. We need to see him more. Want to say a thank you, speaking of that, to John Rauschenberger, our camera guy tonight, doing a great job with the video. He's done it all season long, and we thank him for that. Will Chaucy says, shout out Space Cadets at Max Nagels. Well, Will, we thank you for tuning in and emailing in. Charlie Quinlan, watching from Collegeville, Minnesota, home of St. John's University over there. Charlie, thank you for emailing in. Leona Carlson, proud auntie, watching from Marshfield, Wisconsin. Did basketball over there last spring. And cheering for Tana Brower and the Cadets Go Team. Leona Carlson from Marshfield, Wisconsin. Joel Kress tuning in from Los Alamos, New Mexico. And he says, go Wolfpack. I'm not quite sure who the, maybe he has the wrong game here. But thank you, Joel, for tuning in. This is the Blaze and the Cadets here, so thank you for tuning in. Joe McMahon, shout out to the class of 2019. Go Cadets. Take state, keep up the good work. That coming in from Joe McMahon. Want to say hello to Rhett emailing in. Wally tuning in from Savage. He says, go Burnsville. Again, we got some Burnsville fans on tonight, and we hope you enjoy. We do tilt our broadcast a little towards St. Thomas Academy, but we also welcome and glad to have Burnsville fans on well for this fine team that's advanced here to the section championship. Bob Sand tuning in. He's from Tijuana. He says, go Cadets. Craig Neff tuning in from Coastal Maine to root for Anthony Friedman and the Blaze. Great job on the broadcast. I'll throw that to my partner in crime here, Sam Slago. Been doing it for years. Thank you, Craig, for emailing in. Charlie says, I go to STA, was not able to make it. Can you say my name? So, Charlie, I just said your name. You can't make it tonight, but you emailed in and tuning in and enjoying the broadcast. Jerry Porter, former Burnsville goalie. He's watching from Menominee, Wisconsin, home of the Menominee Mustangs. I do broadcasting and live in Hudson, Wisconsin, and we battle the Menominee Mustangs in all the sports, and a lot of good people over there in Menominee. Christian Michaels tuning in, says go number 11, Roshberger, tuning in from Chicago. That's Christian Michaels. These emails continuing to flood in here, and we want to also say hello to Tom, says owner of the Bismarck Bobcats, rooting for Niko Kapacevic. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. Brilliant hockey guy in his own mind.
Assistant coach of the Cadets. Had a lot of success in his playing career at Eau Claire.
Says great game, great call. Congratulations. And Tom, thank you for emailing in and the kind words. Andrew and Crosby cheering after our squirt practice. Tuning in from Mendota Heights tonight. Says go Cadets. And Connor and Riley O'Brien, two Cadets playing tonight. Mike Hawk tuning in, says go Cadets. Nicole Geyer says go Cadets. She's watching from Tampa Bay, Florida tonight. So I think we have 25, 26 different states, over half in the country are tuned into this game tonight. I'll say hello to Mike. He's down in Tijuana, Mexico. Probably a little bit warmer there than it is here in Minnesota. The Cascio family watching and tuning in from Naples, Florida. I want to say go Cadets. Frank Vassalero, we're familiar with him, all the great things he does. Amelia is yelling so loudly I can't think. That's tough. And of course, very well known, Frank Vassalero, anchor at WCCO. We thank him for all that he's done for St. Thomas Academy. He emceed the banquet and did a marvelous job, and all that he does behind the scenes. And boy, his boys, tremendous basketball players, and he's at University of St. Thomas now.
Yeah, Joe's still in high school too.
Yep.
Joe, football player, basketball player. So yeah, Vassalero's still present.
And Sam's at University of St. Thomas.
Yep.
Yeah. I want to say hello to Jen Shoesbank. I hope I didn't butcher that too bad, Jen. Go Cadets. Shout out to Tommy Aiken. Continuing to pour in here. Rebecca says, good luck, McLean Baudette from Latrobe, Pennsylvania. There's a beer made in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, but I can't think of what it is. I think it's Rolling Rock. I'm not promoting Rolling Rock, by the way. I'm just saying. Chris, Apple Valley tuning in. He says, go Blaze. Mike tuning in from Bangor, Maine, enjoying the broadcast. John tuning in from Chicago, go number 11. And St. Thomas Academy, we're going to get back to action here. Peter Mark tuning in. Here come the Cadets onto the floor. Former Cadets hockey player Peter Mark says, go Cadets. And Sugandiz says, go number 11, St. Thomas Academy. Thank you one and all for tuning in. We have a huge audience tonight. And once again, thank you to St. Thomas Academy for paying the fees, bringing us on board, to their fan base, their alumni. Check out the marvelous, wonderful things going on at St. Thomas Academy. Go to cadets.com for all your information. I'm going to step aside, shut up, bring it back to the big guy. Calling the game. Third period is ready to start. We'll bring it back to Sam Slagle.
No, thanks, John. Thanks for that through the intermission. Yeah, third period's here. Both teams back out on the ice. We switch ends one last time here. Burnsville will go left to right. St. Thomas Academy will go right to left. 1-0. Cadets leading the Blaze heading into the final stanza here on cadetbroadcasts.com. That lone goal came off the stick of Will Soderling. Nick Owens with the single assist on that Soderling goal. And that's the scoring that we've had here so far in this one. Shots after 2 periods, 23-18. That in favor of the Cadets as well. So it was a big second period for St. Thomas Academy. They came out firing there from puck drop to puck stop in that second period. 17 minutes of hockey, though, remain in this one. Winner of this heads to St. Paul next Thursday, a week from tonight. St. Thomas Academy trying to make it 4 trips in a row. And Burnsville trying to get back there for the first time since 2016 as the puck is down and we are underway here from Braemar in the third period. Blaze control the opening faceoff to start the period as Anderson has it, flips to center. Ashan will carry in. Here's Ashan, works to the middle, drops it back. There's nobody there, though. O'Brien takes over. Here's Riley O'Brien, fires one wide, glove side. And Jared Wright follows that one up by sending one off the side of the cage. Burnsville's able to control as Nielsen will carry out through center up the left wing boards. Nielsen swings the puck behind the net. Baudette there on it. Blaze get it back, turned over. Bamer plays it off the wall, but not out. Now the Cadets are able to clear. Wright finds Hallam. Hallam in behind the defense. Jackson Hallam denied by Whitcow. Third breakaway we've seen in this hockey game. 2 for the Blaze, now 1 for the Cadets. 3 battles won by the goaltenders. Here's Riley O'Brien up top. Now to Wright. Lost a handle on it. Saving that is Bamer. His shot hits traffic out front. And the Blaze are able to settle things down as Nielsen will play it in deep from the neutral ice area. Back to pick it up is Statine. Quickly up onto the stick of Riley O'Brien. Deflects it down in deep. Completes a line change for the Cadets. 15:35 to go in the final period. Icing up and coming here against Burnsville. Face-off will come back down to the near face-off dot. Some could argue St. Thomas Academy is the hottest team in AA. Closed out their regular season winners of 10 of 11 and have kept it rolling here in the section tournament and find themselves with a third period lead here in the section final. Cadets have it down low, far corner. They'll swing it back up the near side wall. Rauschenberger holds on the near side, plays it back down low. Deverell for Graham. Back to Deverell, now up top. One time from the point from Nagel, knocked down and cleared by the Blaze. And that'll go for an icing. .15:02 to go, third period. As Kylan and Nielsen will face off in the far dot. As O'Brien back to the point. Bamer, one-time drive. Blocker save from Whitcow. Blaze have it. They'll get it to the St. Thomas line before the Cadets take over. They'll regroup here in their own zone. D to D. Bamer has it in the far corner. That one gets by Connor O'Brien. He recovers, finds Will Soderling, drops off to Bjorn Kylan. Kylan in, fires one on. Gold glove save by Whitcow, and he hangs on to that one. 14:38 to go in regulation. Face off in the near dot. False start on the face-off, so we'll do it again. Looks like it's Nielsen and Kylan. And the Cadets win the face-off. They'll play it behind the net. Now Burnsville will take over. And with it on the near side is Ashan. He goes cross ice. That one just out of the reach. He was looking there for Cole Pearson. But Baudette has it now in the near corner. He'll cycle it back up the far boards. Connor O'Brien waits for it. And that one's just out of the reach of Will Soderling, and it'll go down for an icing against the Cadets. 14:11 left in the third period. Blaze control the face-off, back to the point. Shot was knocked down by Riley O'Brien. And now up ice, here's Jared Wright. Wright slams on the brakes, waits for help, finds it. Charlie Killian, his wrist shot gets through. That's guided to the near side by Whitcow. Puck gets knocked around. Settling it is Anderson for the Blaze. Anderson up ice onto the stick of Erlab. Erlab will swing this one in. Aiken will leave it behind the net, swings it back up the far wall, and that'll come all the way back out to center ice. Turned right back in, though, by Burnsville. 13:35 left in regulation. As Riley O'Brien goes cross ice. Jared Wright back to Jackson Hallam. Hallam toe drag, and he lost a handle on it. Here's Baudette to Hallam in the near side corner. Jackson Hallam, top of the circle, back down low behind the net, trying to give and go. Puck loose, side of the cage, and it's flipped up into the ceiling, out of play by Burnsville. And that'll give us a stoppage and a face-off in the Burnsville zone. Face-off will be in the near dot, it looks like, as Nagel will take this draw against Nielsen. Nagel wins it back to Rauschenberger. Rauschenberger's shot attempt was deflected wide, as Burnsville will play it out to center. Here's a Sean. His pass hit traffic out front. Nielsen's able to recover, though. Circles back into his own zone. Now he's going to work through center. Nielsen had his pocket picked. Recovering is a Sean. Now Botts on the far side. Intercepted by Bamer. Bamer turns it back over to the Blaze, though. It's a battle for a loose puck, as Bamer unable to clear this one out. Now Nagel has it. He'll work back to behind his own goal line. Nagel with it. Backhands it up the near side wall. Deverell tries to clear. That's kept in by a Sean. And Rauschenberger takes over down low behind his own net. Rauschenberger unable to clear. Zone held on the far side. Here's Rauschenberger with it again. Finds Graham. Graham will play to the near side wall. Well, battle for a puck here right at the Burnsville line as Nagel takes over. Nagel lost it. Blaze take over as they'll quickly transition out of their own territory with it. As working through center, that one's taken away, though. Here's Bjorn Kylan. Bjorn Kylan tried to center. That was broken up. Connor O'Brien finds Soderling down low. Up top to Charlie Killian. Killian's shot goes wide. And pinching in is Stettin on the far side. He'll fire from a sharp angle. That'll swing all the way up the near side wall. Killian pinches in. Ashan has it for the Blaze. And Burnsville's able to skate it out. 11:30 to go, third period. St. Thomas Academy 1, Burnsville nothing. Will Soderling the only goal in this one, that coming back in the second period. As Kylan's able to work this puck free onto the stick of Connor O'Brien. He's able to get this one in deep. And now we're going to get an icing against Burnsville with 11:05 to go. Blaze will carry out with Tompkins. Looks to center. That hops the stick of Corey Bell. Blaze, though, keep it alive in the offensive zone. Here's a turnover. Bamer takes over. Finds Jared Wright. Right to the near side. Riley O'Brien carries across the line. O'Brien sends a shot wide. That'll swing up the far wall. Jared Wright sends it back behind. Riley O'Brien there. Sidesteps a check. Now he lost it. Blaze take over. They'll carry out up the far boards with Bell. Bell and Bamer battle. Bell goes down. Cadets take over as Baudette drops it back off for Hallam. Hallam plays to center. And back in is Erlab. Erlab for Bell. Here's Bell with a backhand try. Broken up by Wright. Corey Bell still with it. Back up top to the blue line. Here's an opportunity. Shot deflected. Up and out of play. 10:10 to go in the third. Puck last touched by the Cadets. Face-off stays in the St. Thomas zone. Nagel wins the face-off, and Charlie Killian will find Deverell waiting for it near the blue line. Now Nagel gets it back, and Nagel will find Deverell. One touch, deflects it deep into Burnsville territory. Blaze now will break it out. They'll lose it at the line. Here's a shot from Killian. That's gloved and held on to by Whitcow. 9:49 to go here in period number 3. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at Cadet Broadcasts. Have all the updates for up-and-coming broadcasts and broadcast schedules. So we got 9.5 to go in regulation. Sean has it for the Blaze behind the net. Now with it is Pearson. Pearson tries to go back to the line. He does so. That's forced right back in deep by Faith. Ashan is tied up by Rauschenberger. Puck gets kicked free. Nielsen has it. Here's Nielsen, spins away from pressure. Nielsen out front with it. That one was broken up. And the puck is cleared out by the Cadets. Turned right back in, though, by the Blaze. Both teams will go for a line change as Charlie Killian, first one on it, up for Connor O'Brien, who deflects it in. Here's Connor with it. Connor down low. Soderling for Kylan, and he sends one wide. Connor O'Brien for Will Soderling. Soderling circles the net. Turns and fires. That one's blocked out front. That never made it through. And the Blaze are able to clear it. Icing's waved off. Soderling back to it. Starts back up the middle. Will Soderling over to the near side. Kylan. He'll drop it off for Bamer, who goes D to D for Baudette. Up to Connor O'Brien. He's had a nice section playoff, has Connor. .8:15 to go in regulation. As Soderling from center. That one's knocked down by the blocker of Whitcow. Shots are 30-19 right now in favor of the Cadets. As Whitcow plays it back up the wall. Here's Charlie Killian. Fires one over the net. Now Jared Wright on the far side. Down low, Jackson Hallam. He'll work up near the blue line. Knocked away from him. Blaze trying to get behind the defense there. As Pearson finds Bell. Bell from a sharp angle. Aiken the stop. Centering feed goes all the way through back to the blue line. Kept in by Anderson. His shot. Rebound. Aiken down. Puck is loose in the corner here. As it looks like the net is knocked off its moorings. It is. So the whistle sounds. Face-off will be in the face-off dot to Aiken's left. .7:19 left in regulation. Here's Nielsen down low working against Rauschenberger. Nielsen works up the far wall, taken away by Hallam. That one's out of the reach of Riley O'Brien. Played back in by the Blaze. Killian has it. Turns it right back up ice. Gloved and held, or played by Riley O'Brien, I should say. Over to Jared Wright. Jared Wright circles the net. Wright tried to center. That's intercepted by Ashan. Ashan over for Nielsen. Nielsen plays one on goal. Aiken guides that one to the corner. Ashan gets it back. Here's Ashan, centers it out front. Aiken broke that one up. Riley O'Brien will skate it out himself. He gets caught from behind, tripped up. As we play on, though. Intercepted. Jackson Hallam tries to wrap it around. And this one's covered up by Whitcow. And O'Brien hacking away at it. He paid the price, and he gets knocked down from behind. St. Thomas faithful wanted a call, but we're going to play on here. Quick score update through some other section final games. Hastings 2-0 over Lakeville North. Maple Grove 2-0 over Blaine. Andover all over Elk River 8-0 right now. We'll get to some single A scores here at the next stoppage. 6:26 to go here in the final final period from Braemar. Deverell with it down low. Absorbs a hit on the wall. Nagel tried to free it up as the Blaze swing it up the near side. Half boards back out to center ice. Deverell gets it back, turns it into inside the Burnsville line. Here's Nagel with it. Back to Deverell. Deverell's shot blocked. He recovers, has it again. Here's Deverell, tried to back one out front. That one's knocked down, taken away by the Blaze. And carrying out is Erlab. Erlab to center. Corey Bell will carry in, defended by Nagel. As the puck comes back out to center ice. 5:40 to go in the third. Bamer. Bamer pressured by Holmstrom. Able to clear the puck out. This should, and it will give us an icing here against St. Thomas Academy. Sean will face off against Kylan. They receive instruction from the linesman there, and Kylan wins it to the corner. First one on it, though, is a Sean. Tried to send one out front. Puck in the corner now. Rauschenberger battles for it, finds Soderling. It's Will Soderling across to Charlie Killian, and Bjorn Kylan will deflect this one down in deep. Connor O'Brien gets there first. Now Kylan had it, lost it here to Nielsen, as Nielsen will work through center for the Blaze. Nielsen chips behind the defense. Now centers one out front. He had a shot break into the net. Sean ran out of room there. It went off the side of the net. Cadets clear. It'll go all the way down. And it'll be an icing against St. Thomas Academy. 4:50 to go. A couple of single A scores. Delano and Cooper Armstrong tied at 2. Big one there. First time Cooper Armstrong's been to a section final game. Monticello and Pine City tied at 3. St. Cloud Cathedral all over Alexandria 7-0. And Warroad over the east side. East Grand Forks 2-0 right now. Shot from the point. That one goes wide. Blaze still with it with Tompkins. Plays it back around. On it, though, is Riley O'Brien. He's able to clear it. Back out to center. Tompkins plays to the near side. Deflected and down in deep by Holmstrom. Aiken will play to his defenseman in Bamer. Bamer will flip to center. Settled by Anderson of the Blaze. And forced back down in deep by Erlab. 4:15 to go in regulation. Holmstrom centers one out front all the way back to the point. Tompkins, wrist shot blocked. And that goes off of right back out to center. Erlab for Bell. Bell still with it, still on his feet. Puck loose in the slot, played by Hallam, and he's going to go for a skate. Jackson Hallam, left wing side, unable to get behind the defense. Transition back the other way. Riley O'Brien recovers, though. Here's Jackson Hallam, gives it away. Erlab across, Ashan. Good defensive play, though, by Jackson Hallam coming back into the play. Ashan to the point, Tompkins. Anderson. Anderson down low. Here's Ashan. Battling with Hallam in the corner. 3:20 to go, third period. As now the puck gets freed up, and Tyler Graham will flip it out to center. St. Thomas able to complete a line change now, and Anderson back to retrieve the puck. Up to Ashan. He'll go up to Nielsen, and Nielsen will carry in. Nielsen fires one into the catching glove of Aiken, and that's caught and held on to with 3:01 to go in the third. If you're Burnsville, if you're Steve Bolio, what time do you think about taking your timeout? What time do you think about getting Whitcow out of the net? Final 3 minutes of regulation. Off the faceoff, puck is cleared. Nice play by Graham. Deverell's able to get the puck down and deep. If you're St. Thomas Academy, you don't want to be too aggressive, but you don't want to sit back too much either. Here's Nielsen. Blocker save Aiken. As Nagel's able to clear to the line, but not out. Zone held here by Myers. Bamer unable to clear. He's pressured down in the corner on the far side by Glosson. Now Ashan has it, sends one on goal. Pad save Aiken. Puck loose behind the net. Here's Nagel for Graham, and Graham says enough of this, and he sends it the distance. It's going to go for an icing with 2:04 to go. So we'll see if Steve Bolio elects to take a timeout now, and he will. So Bolio takes his timeout. 2:04 to go. As with this timeout, we'll send it back to John Wecken for a couple of more email shout-outs.
Want to say hello to Carol Lofek, and Carol, I remember her from her days at St. Thomas Academy. She's tuning in from the STA Media Center. So Carol, thank you for tuning in. Barry, tuning in from Erie, Pennsylvania, says go Cadets. Donnie Borman, watching in Arizona, he says go Blaze, go Cade Nelson and Jack Holstrom and Joe Faith. So that's Donnie tuning in from Arizona. Connor Murphy, 2013 backup goalie here. He says, let's keep the train rolling, boys. Thank you for emailing in, Connor. Allie Patterson says, go Cadets from Nova Tube, Wisconsin. Not sure where that is. Thank you, Allie, for tuning in. Gabe says, very simply, go Cadets. Luke Sampier, watching from work at Tiffany's Sports Lounge, says, go Cadets. Eric Sean says, go Cadets from your boy, Eric Sean. Derek Rink, emailing in, says, what's going on? Go Cadets. Tuning in from New York. That's Derek Rookie. Says, nice job making it to the game. Also, you're representing Boston's North End. Said JR's watching with Brandon Wykes, both STA 2015 grads. Also want to say hello to Tessa De Leon. Love the Cadets. Shout out to Charlie Vick. And we're going to go back to action here. A lot of emails coming in. Thank you one and all wherever you're tuned in from tonight. Lots and lots of people tuned in. And we thank you for spending your Thursday night with us. Take it away, Sam.
2:04 to go in regulation. Burnsville out of their timeout. Whitcow still in the net. Face-off controlled here by the Cadets. Unable to clear, though. Ashan holds. Whitcow looking towards the bench. Burnsville with it. Now there goes Whitcow. Whitcow, empty net down to my left. Nielsen has the puck for the Blaze. Minute 47 to go in regulation. Killian trying to kill time along the wall. Ashan able to keep it alive in the offensive zone for the Blaze. Now taking over is Connor O'Brien. Gets behind Anderson. Here's O'Brien. Fires it into the empty net. Connor O'Brien for the Cadets. 2-0 with a minute 34 to go. He has played phenomenal here in this section tournament as Connor O'Brien. And what an individual effort there to get behind Anderson. Joey Anderson, the big defenseman for Burnsville. He tried doing everything, hooking him, putting a body on him, but O'Brien was able to just fight through it and put it into the empty net. 93 seconds to go now. So Baudette picks up the lone assist on the empty netter for Connor O'Brien, as Corey Bell will carry up for the Blaze. His shot was handled by Aiken, and the puck is cleared out by St. Thomas Academy. Here comes Nielsen carrying in. Poked off his stick by Bamer. Nielsen gets it back. Nielsen up top, fires one through. That's caught and held on to by Aiken. 1 minute to go as Whitcow will head to the bench. It appears he will. So it's empty net again down to my left. St. Thomas Academy trying to make it 4 trips in a row to the XL Center. Six on 5 right now with the empty net for Burnsville. Face off one back to Ashan. Here's Ashan with it. He turns and fires, deflected just wide of the net. Rauschenberger shovels it up the near side wall, not out. Ashan has it. Out of the near side. Erlab back up top to Ashan. That shot was blocked. 36 seconds to go. Aiken forced to cover that one up. .3 remains in this one. Ashan at the point, slides it across. Nielsen, shot was knocked away. Baudette will swing it back up the wall, and now Will Soderling has it. One-on-one, Soderling takes a big hit. Connor O'Brien, how about number 2? And he misses it. Missed the net, it slid right through the crease. Now with 15 seconds to go. Here's Anderson back in his own zone. 10 seconds. Puck at center. Soderling bids for his second of the game, and he hits the iron. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and St. Thomas Academy is going back to St. Paul as they celebrate with their netminder. Tommy Aiken picks up his second shutout of this section tournament, and the Cadets are Section 3 AA champions. Two to nothing is the final score tonight. Will Soderling in the second. Connor O'Brien here in the third with an empty netter. Tommy Aiken with his second shutout of the section tournament. He allowed just 1 goal through the 3 games. And the celebration is on for St. Thomas Academy. Well, John, it's another trip to St. Paul for the Cadets. 4th year in a row where they will represent Section 3 AA, and it's a hard-fought game. Burnsville came out strong in that first period. They were the better team in the first period. There's no doubt about it, but second period on, it was a different story in this one. And St. Thomas Academy, they find a way to hold on to that 1-goal lead, double it with the empty netter, and skate out of Braemar, champions of 3 AA.
Well, I think this is a different type of a sectional final win for the St. Thomas Academy Cadets than in previous years. They went into this one, I go back to the conversation we had in the first intermission. In mid-January, they were basically about a 500 team. They had lost 3 in a row, and then they just caught fire. Things that weren't working earlier in the season started working. The wins started piling up, with the exception of the loss to Hill Murray, over at Hill Murray. They've ran the table since that loss to Hastings. Went into the sections as a number 5 seed, kind of a controversial seeding. Some people thought they should have been higher. Went on the road, beat Eastview at Apple Valley, the number 4 seed. Went into Rosemont, beat the Rosemont Irish, a team that they had lost to earlier in the year, the Rosemont Irish, beat them and beat them fairly handedly in Rosemont, came in here taking on a very, very good Burnsville team that were higher ranked here at the neutral site Braemar Arena with a lot of pressure on them, and sealed the deal as a number 5 seed, kind of given up for dead really in mid-January. This is really one for the scrapbooks, you know, coming in as a number 5 seed, and to be able to win a section and advance the state tournament 4 straight years is pretty incredible, regardless of what sport it is. And St. Thomas Academy, the cadets here at Braemar Arena tonight did just that.
Yeah, it's. I said it. I don't know if it was during the third period or right before we went back live for the third. You know, I said, the cadets, they might be. You could argue right now they're the best team in AA. They're for sure the hottest team in AA. Now, let's see, 10 of 11 to close out the regular season, 3 more, 13 of 14.
13 of 14, yeah.
To, as of now, heading into the state tournament, they'll probably not get they probably will be one of the unseeded teams at St. Paul, seeing that they're the 5 seed in the section. So, obviously we'll find out after this, weekend. But regardless, they were the underdog in this one, in this whole section tournament, being the 5 seed. They beat the number 4 seed. They beat the number 1 seed. Now they beat the number 2 seed. So I really don't think they care. That's kind of been their motto. Their motto so far in these playoffs have been "We ready." Seen that a lot on social media from their account, but now, there's no doubt about it. They'll be ready for a week from tonight.
Well, what a great year it's been for St. Thomas Academy. The football team for the 2nd straight year, back in late November. Went to the state championship game the year before, lost a close one to Owatonna, lost a lot of key players. And going into the season, people wondered, can they duplicate that? It was, are you able to catch lightning in a bottle twice? And they did just that. Got all the way back to the state championship game. Unfortunately, lost another close one to the Chaska Hawks. But, getting all the way to the state championship game back-to-back years, I think that set the tone. And, again, they had some stumbles early on, but this is a program, a winning program. New coach this year, new system, a lot of new changes, lost a lot of key players from that state from the state tournament team last year, and somehow, some way, found a way to get it done, and they're advancing to the state tournament.
Absolutely. I'm just looking down at the, obviously got the ceremony following this one, the medals being handed out to these 2 teams. But, I was just kind of looking at some of the cadets. Obviously, they're celebrating with amongst themselves. But one player I saw was Tommy Aiken, the goaltender. He was chatting. He was giving his goaltender coach, Greg Monahan, a hug. That's one thing St. Thomas has had over the years is goaltending. Yeah. Tommy Aiken has been stellar all season long. He didn't have a shutout this season. He had 2 in the section tournament here.
Yep.
Quarterfinals and the final. Karsten Lardy back up this season. He played well. That's one thing they've always had this whole season. It was a slow start, but Tommy Aiken was always there. Defensively, this team has been great all year. Goaltending's been great all year. It was the forwards that had to get, catch up to the defense and the goaltending. And as the season went on, they really did. It was Jackson Hollum, you could argue, was really the only forward they had that was producing in the first half of the year. And then after that Hastings game, once they went on that run, they started getting production. Guys like Riley O'Brien, Bjorn Kylan, Will Soderling, he's back healthy. So getting production up and down the lineup offensively, something that they did not have in the first half of this season. And you can see now what they're able to do when they can get 3 lines going.
Well, it's big picture. It's the dedication, and it would have been easier, quite frankly, in mid-January to say, you know what, this just isn't our year. New coaching staff, lost a lot of key players from the previous year. But there's something about the pride and the tradition of this school and this hockey program. They just caught fire, 13 of 14, going to state. It's just tremendous. And before we sign off and fold up our tent and slip silently into the night here, we'd be remiss if we didn't give a pat on the back and a shout out to this outstanding Burnsville Blaze team who had a tremendous season, playing a very tough conference, took the number 2 seed, won 2 games to get to this section championship. They had beaten St. Thomas Academy out 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, 2016. And, They came up just short tonight against a very hot St. Thomas Academy team, but really an outstanding Blaze season.
Oh, absolutely. And, like I said, right after this game ended, once we kind of let the dust settle a bit on this celebration, to start, they were the better team. There's no question. They came out. They were putting it to St. Thomas, but again, that was a big first period from Tommy Aiken, and the Cadets were kind of able to weather that storm and then get off their heels and get going back, in the direction they wanted to. But yeah, no doubt about it. This Burnsville team, heck of a season, very good showing here tonight, and came up just short. Really, it's a 1-0 hockey game. I mean, that's an empty net goal,
right.
but really, this game ends 1-0, and unfortunately, someone's got to lose, someone's got to win, and tonight the Cadets punched their ticket to St. Paul. So.
Well, and some of the other teams that we know, and this will all come into focus here in the next couple of days, but they're going to have Moorhead's going to be there, Eden Prairie's going to be there, Blake's going to be there, Andover knocks off and they advance. Or is that a semi? Is that a semifinal?
Oh, that's a final.
That is a final. So Andover, been a lot of years since Andover's been there.
Yeah. They beat Elk River, who had a nice run through that section tournament. Elk River was the 6th seed up in is that 8AA if I'm not mistaken?
7AA.
7AA.
Yeah.
They play up in Amsoil, and Elk River's they've had a tough go of it, and just playing in that section over all the years. They've had some great years, but obviously, Duluth East usually comes out of that section. So,
and if not East, Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
So
good for Andover. Obviously, their girls program knocked off the 3-time defending girls champion in Edina. We're in their building here tonight, but so the boys will try and do what Edina did last year and win boys and girls for AA, as the Huskies will be representing 7AA next Thursday.
And again, before we sign out, I want to say another sincere thank you to St. Thomas Academy, who ponied up the pretty significant broadcast rights fee, not only for this game, but the other two games, to allow the viewers, the fans, the alumni of St. Thomas Academy, and really hockey fans all over the place to be able to view these games. So we thank them again for everything they do and they have done. For more about the school, just go to cadets.com. A lot of great things going on there. I want to thank Deborah Edwards over there, Mike Maxwell, David Hottinger, Dan O'Brien, Julie Marks, the whole crew over there for bringing us on board. And it's onward and upward and on to the XL Energy Center next week for the Cadets.
Yeah, next stop is St. Paul for St. Thomas Academy. It's AA tournament, so that'll kick off. Tournament will start next Thursday in the morning, a week from today. So looking forward to that. Always an exciting time of the year here for any fans, hockey or not, and nationwide. I mean, that tournament gets recognition nationwide. So it's going to be fun as always. AA is especially big time over there. They get that building packed for 3 nights in a row, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So looking forward to that. But John, big thanks to you here. Big thanks to John Rauschenberger on the camera all season long. As one more time from Braemar, final score 2-0, St. Thomas Academy, Section 3 AA champions. As Sam Slangle is signing off from Braemar.